Good morning. I'm State Senator Bill Monning, and here we are. The dream of so many, the work of so many, and now we are here at the final resting place for those who served our nation with dignity, pride, commitment, and sacrifice. I want to offer my welcome as well and my thanks to Secretary of California's Veteran Agency, Secretary Dr. Vito Imbisiani. Thank you for joining us today and for the support of all of your staff. And to Director George Eisenbach of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, who we'll be hearing from shortly, Director of the National Cemetery Administration. To Secretary Leon and Sylvia Panetta, thank you for joining us today and for your leadership and ongoing support for this project. And thank you, Jimmy Panetta, for being the perfect master of ceremonies for this effort today. As you know, Jimmy Panetta, along with Mayor Jason Burnett, headed up one of the final toughest pushes to secure the community funding to match federal and state resources. We gather today to mark the completion of this phase of the Central Coast Veterans Cemetery. We celebrate the achievement, but more importantly, we acknowledge the service of all veterans and dedicate this final resting place to honor their service. And what a quiet and beautiful place this is, and to think of how many powerful moments will be shared here as loved ones inter a loved one, and as family members and loved ones visit those whose remains will be laid to rest here amidst the oaks and the hills, and in sanctuary from the noise and disruption of daily life. I've had the honor and indeed the responsibility of fighting to secure the support of the state of California for this project. Establishment of this cemetery has been one of my highest priorities during my service in the legislature. The pathway has not always been easy. I authored and we passed 6 different pieces of legislation and secured a major budget allocation that was referenced that would not have been possible without the support of Governor Jerry Brown, CalVet, the leadership of my colleagues in both houses, and the partnership of so many in Sacramento. Each step of the way, we've relied on the support of Congressman Sam Farr and his team, the National Veterans Administration, as I mentioned, my colleagues in the legislature, but most importantly, always, the driving force of this achievement has been the local veterans community and veterans organizations that never took no for an answer. We hit some cul-de-sacs along the way. We were told more than once that we either hadn't positioned ourselves, hadn't raised the necessary money, there could not be a national cemetery here, the regulations could not be bent. But the persistence and the commitment of the local veterans community is what got us here today and will continue as we build from these 17 acres into the 78 acres envisioned for this cemetery. What's significant about today in these 17 acres is that the basic infrastructure is now installed. The administration building, the columbaria, the committal area. This infrastructure will serve as we build out into future phases. So in many ways, while this is designated phase 1, it is a foundation from which the growth of this cemetery project will proceed. Others have acknowledged other political leaders who have helped along the way, and I just have to acknowledge my staff and my team, both Sacramento and in the district, who also labored and often protected me from the bad news until it was sometimes too late. But everyone here, if you've served in the military, the fundamental principle of successful military service is teamwork. And that became contagious from our veterans community as that teamwork spread to our local partners, the city of Seaside, of Marina, with Fora, with the county of Monterey. I remember there was one 7 or 10 day window there, we had to thread a needle of title transfers from Seaside, Monterey County to Fora to the state of California. And we were told we had 10 days to do that. A lot of people bent rules so that we could succeed in meeting those deadlines. There are so many who can rightfully take pride and credit for this achievement. And the challenge when we name names is that we omit some. The organizations that have been critical partners, again, it's through organization that we give voice to individuals. It's through organization, both local, nonprofit, and governmental organization. That's how we shape the futures that we want. Our country faces a very tough dilemma right now. There are those who suggest that government is the problem. And I think what we show today is that government, it is we, the people, who shape the vision and give it life and give it shape. And that's what we celebrate today. We will soon be seeing a dedication of a memorial wall. You'll see it, it's between here and the entrance. And that will also be a place to memorialize those whose remains have been laid to rest at sea or were not recovered and can be memorialized on that memorial wall. It has particular significance. My father's name will be on that wall. And it'll provide a place for us. I also want to acknowledge the family of Major William Williams, who are here today, as his remains will be the first to be laid to rest, and so appropriate, as he was one of the original spark plug veterans who pushed the vision, who pushed the dream, and who have us here today. It's now going to be my honor to invite my colleagues, Assemblymember Stone and Assemblymember Luis Alejo, to come forward. And we'd also ask the Secretary to come forward, California Secretary of California Veterans Affairs, as we present this legislative resolution. Oh, wow. Oh. Here, you stand in the middle here. And put your hand on it, Luis. Okay. Who's got a camera? There they are. This legislative resolution will be posted in the administration building where families will gather. And in this resolution, we do try to acknowledge all of the organizations who pulled together to make today possible. So thank you all for being here today, and let's continue to build this dream to the reality it becomes today and as it will grow out from here. Thank you very much.